Module 13, Agents and Distributors. Two of the most common ways of selling, particularly products internationally, is using agents and distributors. So this module examines the difference between agents and distributors, the benefits of using each, and some of the issues you need to consider in order to manage them effectively. So, what is the difference between an agent and distributor? An agent effectively is your representative in the marketplace. They negotiate sales on your behalf, and in return for this, they earn commission. It's normally the case that you invoice the customer and ship the products directly to them, and the customer pays you. So you have a relationship with the end customer. The distributor, on the other hand, buys from you, and they then sell the products on to their own customers. They earn a margin between the price they buy and the price they sell to their customers. So you don't have the same direct relationship with any of the distributor's customers. Both the agents and distributors should have good knowledge of the local market. So why use an agent or distributor? The benefits of using an agent are that they only get paid once a sale is made. And as we've seen before, you retain direct contact with the customers. This gives you greater control over marketing and sales. And if things are working well, an agent will actually become part of your extended team, and your company will benefit from their knowledge and experience of their international market and help you position your products most effectively. The benefits of appointing a distributor, on the other hand, are that the distributor sells, markets, and distributes in their territory. They're responsible for holding stock locally, for warehousing, order for processing, and fulfillment. If you supply a distributor on a buy and sell basis, the stock becomes property of the distributor. If you supply on a consignment basis, you retain title to the goods until they're sold by the distributor. The problem with this is that you may not get paid until the distributor has sold the goods. Sometimes it is the case that selling on consignment is normal practice in some industries. So, for example, in publishing, it is normal to supply books on consignment, and the publisher retains title to the books until they're sold by the distributor. If you're thinking of using an agent, you should be aware of the EU Commercial Agents Regulation 1993 if you're selling in the EU. This will apply after we finish the transition period at the end of 2020. If you terminate an agency agreement, your agent can claim compensation, and the law applies whether you have an agency agreement in place or not. We strongly suggest that you take professional legal advice if you're considering appointing an agent, and put in place a proper agency agreement with them. Don't, for example, ask someone to start selling on commission on a whim, because you have effectively put in place an agency agreement. So this is very important if you're considering using an agent to sell on your behalf, particularly in the European Union. And as I say, this will apply also after we leave the EU transition agreement at the end of 2020. Quite often, if you're having an initial discussion with a distributor, they will ask for exclusivity. That is the exclusive right to sell your product in their marketplace. And as I say, this is quite likely when you're entering a new market. It can be quite exciting if you are approached by a distributor, and it's very easy to get carried away. But we strongly suggest that you don't agree to exclusivity. But if you are forced, make it time limited, perhaps for 1 or 2 years, and then review. And you'd link any ongoing exclusivity to satisfactory performance by the distributor. It's important that you look at the area that the distributor is likely to cover. So for example, are they covering the Paris region, or are they covering the whole of France? And do they really have the capability to supply the whole of France? Or in fact, are most of their customers just based around the Paris region? So here are a couple of things then to consider if you are dealing with distributors. If you're likely to be using either agents or distributors to help you sell your products internationally, take a moment to note down any points that you need to on your action plan.